The boxing world came to a standstill when news broke that Gervonta Davis, one of Floyd Mayweather's most successful protégés, had been arrested just days before his highly anticipated fight with Jake Paul. The headlines hit like a jab to the jaw. Fans, promoters, and even fighters across the sport were blindsided. What was supposed to be one of boxing's biggest crossover events of the year suddenly collapsed under the weight of controversy and chaos. But what truly set the internet ablaze wasn't just the arrest, it was Floyd Mayweather's reaction. For the first time in months, the undefeated legend broke his silence, and when he did, the message sent shockwaves through the entire combat sports world. Gervonta Davis had always been a reflection of Mayweather's legacy, a lightning-fast, explosive fighter with unmatched charisma and a dangerous edge both inside and outside the ring. But this latest incident exposed the dark side of that edge. Police reports surfaced detailing a late-night altercation that ended in Davis's arrest, leading to immediate speculation about whether the Jake Paul fight would go on. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Millions of dollars in pay-per-view revenue, sponsorship deals, and a massive audience ready to watch the sport's bad boy take on its YouTube villain turned legit boxer. Within hours, event organizers confirmed everyone's worst fear: the fight was off. For days, silence dominated the headlines. Jake Paul was furious, venting online about wasted months of promotion. Boxing insiders debated what would happen next, and fans demanded answers from Mayweather, the man who had mentored Davis from the start. And then, in true Floyd fashion, he spoke. Calmly, confidently, and with that familiar tone of a man who's seen it all before. Mayweather didn't throw Davis under the bus, nor did he excuse his actions. Instead, he delivered a sharp, strategic message that walked the fine line between loyalty and leadership. According to Mayweather, what happened to Davis was tragic, but preventable. He stressed discipline, accountability, and focus, reminding everyone that greatness in the ring means nothing without control outside of it. He acknowledged Davis's raw talent but made it clear that no fighter, no matter how gifted, is bigger than the sport. When you let your emotions dictate your moves, Mayweather warned, the world will always have the last punch. His words weren't a public condemnation, they were a wake-up call. It was the mentor speaking directly to his student, but also to every young fighter chasing fame faster than they can handle it. Behind the scenes, however, insiders say Mayweather's frustration ran deeper than his composed tone revealed. This wasn't just about a canceled fight, it was about a brand he helped build. Mayweather Promotions had invested heavily in Davis, pushing him as the face of the next generation. The Jake Paul matchup was supposed to cement his star power far beyond the boxing world, tapping into a global audience that blurred the lines between entertainment and athletics. Losing that fight meant more than lost revenue. It meant a missed opportunity to reclaim boxing's mainstream spotlight. Meanwhile, Jake Paul didn't waste any time stoking the fire. He accused Davis of running from the fight and called out Mayweather's camp for failing to control their fighter. But for Floyd, silence was strategy. He had learned long ago that reacting emotionally only feeds the spectacle. Instead, he focused on protecting his empire and ensuring that the narrative didn't spiral out of control. Insiders close to Mayweather revealed that he immediately began working behind the scenes to negotiate a new deal, potentially rescheduling the bout once Davis's legal situation stabilized. To Floyd, every setback is just another business opportunity in disguise. Still, the emotional weight of the situation couldn't be ignored. Davis, who had fought his way out of poverty under Mayweather's guidance, was facing a crossroads. His career, reputation, and relationships were all hanging by a thread. The arrest reignited conversations about whether Mayweather's flashy, money persona had indirectly influenced his protégé's reckless behavior. Critics argued that the glitz and bravado of Mayweather Promotions encouraged fighters to value fame over focus. But supporters countered that Davis's downfall wasn't about Mayweather. It was about personal choices and the brutal realities of fame in the modern sports era. For Mayweather, this wasn't the first time he had to navigate controversy around his fighters. Over the years, he's dealt with scandals, rivalries, and countless public meltdowns within his stable. But what made this situation different was how public and immediate it was. Social media amplified every rumor, every accusation, every leaked video. And in that storm, Floyd's measured response stood out as the voice of experience. He didn't defend, didn't deflect. He simply reminded everyone why he's still considered the most disciplined fighter of his generation. As days passed, reports began emerging that Mayweather was personally working with Davis's legal team, leveraging his influence to ensure fair treatment and a path back to the ring. Sources say Floyd still believes in Davis's future, but only if the young star learns from his mistakes. The relationship between the two has always been complex, equal parts mentor and mentee, father and son, business and brotherhood. Mayweather's message was clear: redemption is possible, but it won't be handed to you. You have to earn it, round by round, both inside and outside the ropes. Meanwhile, the boxing community continued to buzz with speculation. Would the Jake Paul fight ever happen? Could Davis recover his image? And what role would Mayweather play moving forward? Some believe Floyd might take a more active role in Davis's rehabilitation, mentally, physically, and professionally. Others think he might finally distance himself from the chaos and focus on new prospects. Whatever happens next, one thing is certain: Floyd Mayweather's influence continues to loom large over every move in modern boxing. In the end, this wasn't just a story about an arrest or a canceled fight. It was about legacy, loyalty, and the price of fame. Gervonta Davis may have stumbled, but Mayweather's warning has turned his setback into a defining moment. The lesson is clear: talent can take you to the top, but discipline is what keeps you there. And as Mayweather has proven time and again, even in chaos, the smart ones play the long game. The spotlight now shifts back to Davis. Will he rise, rebuild, and reclaim his career? Or will this chapter mark the beginning of a decline no one saw coming? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: Floyd Mayweather has drawn his line in the sand, and his message to every fighter watching is simple: control your story before the world controls it for you. What do you think about Floyd's reaction? Should he continue mentoring Gervonta Davis after this chaos, or is it time to cut ties and move on? Let's talk about it in the comments below, and if you want more deep dives into the drama, power, and legacy shaping today's sports icons, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's next.